welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. And if you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Oh my, what has Gary done out there? It absolutely has sent the internet world into a craze. Let's have a listen to some of the things that were mentioned today.
My time is limited, so I'm going to try to do this as efficiently as I can, Mr. Chairman. But I think I know your position, among other things, is that not all cryptocurrencies are inherently securities, right? That's true.
There are a small number that aren't, but I think that, as Chair Clayton said when he was in front of Congress, I think very many of these facts and circumstances are investment contracts.
So here's my concern. So some are and some aren't, is basically what you're saying. And I'm concerned that the SEC has not provided sufficient definition and explained how it would apply the Howey test, which I think is the court standard for determining when something is an investment contract. So, for instance, stablecoins do not have an inherent expectation of profit. They're just linked to the dollar. Now, you might use them in an attempt to make a profit, but that's a second order activity. Is it your view that stable coins themselves can be securities?
I think it's, Senator, they may well be securities. As Thurgood Marshall wrote in the Reeves opinion, in defining the scope of the market that Congress, wished to regulate, Congress painted a broad brush, and it actually included about 35 different things inside the definition of a security in the 33 Act.
I've just got limited time here, so I acknowledge that. Here's my problem, though. I think what you just said was that they may be securities, or that some are securities. To me, a stablecoin doesn't meet the second prong of the Howey test, that there has to be an expectation of profits from the investment. And so if it doesn't meet the Howey test, it looks to me like it's not a security. Now, maybe you've got a good argument for why some are and some aren't. My whole point is, I think we need to have clarity on this.
Wow, right? I mean, he was absolutely destroyed today, right? You couldn't have asked for a better outcome, right? It's really, really important, right? And I know that we had to listen to that for like 2 minutes, but it's an important thing to start off today because we are heading towards a settlement. More and more people, more professionals, more people in the law are agreeing that what is it, right? We need clarity here. We need to understand what is and what isn't. And I think, it really goes to show just how bad of a job the SEC is doing, right? Now, I've got one more to show you. It's only 19 seconds, this one, but this is good too. Listen to this one.
But as to the people and the companies that you regulate as chairman of the SEC, do you consider yourself to be their daddy? No. Then why do you act like it? I try to... But as to the
I mean, wow. He really got hit from all different angles, right? And this goes for ages. And then there's two things there to watch. There's a 2-hour video. SEC Chair Gary Gensler testifies before the lawmakers on the plan to regulate crypto. And then there's the SEC Chair Gensler testifies on oversight of the US Securities and Exchange Commission. So there is plenty of videos out there that you can actually watch and learn about, what he said and what he didn't say. But it was massive. And we saw the prices of all cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin rose straight away as soon as the interview finished, the 2-hour thing finished, like on live stream. It's coming. Settlement is coming. And it's not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. But a settlement or a win for XRP is coming. It would have to be the most corrupt decision of all time for it to not to be a win or a settlement for XRP. So what does it mean? What does it mean for you? What does it mean for you as an XRP holder? Accumulate. If you're new to XRP, if you're thinking about XRP, It means research, and more research, and then decide if it's the right thing for your portfolio, which it may not be. And I hate the XRP army enthusiasts that try and tell other people to not get into other things, right? Far from it, right? A diversified portfolio is a great idea, and you should always have a diversified portfolio. But please make sure that it is right for you. That's the only thing that I ask. Now, when we talk about ecosystems, we're talking about how good this Ripple XRP ecosystem is. It is spectacular, right? I mean, there's a star-studded from money transfers to payments to crypto cards to marketplaces to custody. It is so good on so many levels. That's all I'm going to say. Do your research and you'll be very, very, very impressed. We will be talking about, of course, our road towards 210 and how we're going to get there. We'll cover that off today. We'll cover off, like what are these latest patterns, these latest things that we got going on. Can we maybe go to 95 cents before we go? But I think, it is just a matter of days before we really kick things into gear. And a $25 USD XRP is well within reach. I mean, if you look at this gigantic cup that has been building from 2018 till now, it is spectacular, right? And this is on the Bitcoin versus XRP charts. Absolutely spectacular. Now, the SEC has filed its letter brief regarding the allegedly privileged documents it's withholding from Ripple. The SEC claims that every single document that will be reviewed by Judge Nerton in camera is privileged. What it means is that you and I are not going to get to read it. The judge, it will be the only person that gets to read it. That's the condition. And fair enough. We don't care. We don't want to read it. We don't care. As long as the judge reads it, gets the case, throws it out, or scores a win for Ripple, or a settlement is achieved, you and I are going to be happy as. Now, let's jump into Atani. Let's have a look at some of the indicators. Okay, so as we begin to look at the daily chart right now, we're sitting at $1.09, 1.74% up. Okay, so it's not really groundbreaking right now where we're at, but we do have a very, very fast movement coming from a lot of cryptocurrencies right now. Today in the top 100, we're seeing greens everywhere, right? So of course on the daily, the MACD is still sitting on a bearish. When I look at the hourly though, here we go. It's starting, right? So it's starting to come, and it's really, really exciting. This has just been in the last hour, by the way. As we move forward, so the MACD on the hour has moved into bullish. When I look at the 4 hour, it is definitely into bullish territory. And when we go further and we start to look into the 12 hour, we're about to enter bullish segment, and then finally the daily will fold. So we're about to kick off. It's an exciting party. I think you're all going to be invited, but the indicators are now starting to turn bullish, which is very, very exciting. I thought it was going to take a couple more days, but looks like we are about to take off again. Now let's have a look at some drawings, what they can teach us. Okay, so when we begin to look at the charts tonight, and we're looking at what kind of formation, could we be having a double cup? That's the big one, right? Because if you look in the past, there was a double cup. Now look at the size of this thing. This is monstrous, right? This is massive. And if you saw what happened back then, right, the gigantic bull rise, I mean, this double cup, oh my, from a technical perspective, it is going to be so good, right? There's going to be just so many haters that are just going to have their jaws drop to the ground when this all takes off, right? We just had some guy today, stitch one of my videos and, to talk about it. And people were like, hey, why don't you retaliate, right? Why don't you talk to him, right? Talk to what, right? We're going to let the numbers talk. We're going to let XRP talk. We're going to let the bull run talk. We don't talk to haters. Clap. Thank you. Thanks for mentioning me. Free publicity. The numbers will do the talking. Don't worry about replying back to people or pushing back. The numbers do the talk. And that double cup, oh my, that is going to be something. Now, should we have a pullback? Which I don't think we will. But should we have a pullback, then it will be up around 80 to 70 cents. The second one would be 52, but that's just not happening, right? But I want you guys to be aware that there could be a possibility of a 70 cents buyback, buy zone. Be aware of that. Be aware of that. Be prepared for anything and everything. That's how you win. Be prepared for everything and anything. But the road to 160, I think, has started, and we'll be moving now. Like, we're already starting to make some moves. We're sitting in the 109. Next stop, 118. I think we'll get that. We'll get to that pretty quick, and then we'll continue to move forward. Do something like this, right? That's where I think the next step is. Do something like this. Move towards 140, touch 135, and then continue towards 190, and then from there. Of course, tomorrow we'll be back and we'll talk about how we move the rest. But that double cup, remember that double cup, because it's happened in the past. It's happened again. If you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And as always, thank you. And I look forward to see you on the next one.